funniest memory is the Christmas bulb exchanges that we do every year, where we get to pick a person on the team and we try to find a gift that reflects their personality, and we have a lot of fun with that.
I would say when I decided to hide some snakes in Robert's office. He still doesn't know it was me.
The funniest moment I had from my daughter was it was just funny. She worked for me, and normally you would never see this get away with a boss, but she was part-time with us, and I remember I was like, you need to be in there before me. And I looked, 5 minutes later she had left. So I got to work, and it looks like, and I can't laugh about it because I was mad in some ways, but I sort of smiled and said it looked like she went from the bed straight to work. And the clothes looked like it too.
It's got to be the birthday pranks that we play. We've turned Robert's office into a chicken coop. We've filled offices up with rubber ducks. It's just a constant sort of game to try to one-up ourselves and make a funnier joke the next time.
One of my funniest memories is we like to pull pranks in the office when everyone's gone on vacation, and mine was I came back from vacation and my desk was covered in sticky notes, every inch of it. Even the printer was covered in sticky notes. I laughed a lot and then had the joy of taking it down.
I would say my funniest memory here would be our Fun by Fours. So most of y'all know our trades have to be entered by 3 o'clock every day. So it's kind of a quiet time around here between 2 and 3, making sure all the trades and everything that gets done for the day is kind of wrapped up by 3. And then at 4 o'clock, on occasion, somebody will walk out and say, okay, we're going to do a Fun by 4 today. And it's a quick 5-minute game or puzzle or word search or kind of contest that we all can participate in. Like I said, 5 minutes, just kind of at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're kind of almost wanting to be done for the day. We kind of had a stressful period with making sure everything was done by our earlier deadline, and then doing a quick game.
I missed a flight going out. We had to reschedule the entire flight. And I come out and I get a watch in the mail. And I can't find the message to it. I'm like, well, whoever sent me a Mickey Mouse watch, like, that's weird. Well, a little while later, I go back through the package and there's a note in there. Oh, this will help keep you on time. You know, the Woodlands. Okay, so then I get to the day of the flight, and it starts at about 7 a.m. Dan Mychalk reaches out and he says, hey Mike, just heads up, you should probably be packed today, and you know, you got to make sure you get on the plane. And then every 2 hours from that point, I get another text message. Hey Mike, T-minus 6 hours to your flight. You know, you should be starting to prep for that. T-minus 4 hours, T-minus 2 hours. And the last one comes through, and it comes from Annie, and she says, you know, this is probably the time when you're supposed to be finishing your beer and getting onto the flight. Make sure that's taking place. And you know, so they were making sure to bust me up for the missed flight, and it was a good memory, fun stuff.
My funniest memory here at Waterway is all of our birthdays. We had many milestone birthdays in this past year, and we had a nice get-together with a gentle roasting of each of the milestone birthday people.
Dave is just funny all around, so it's always entertaining. And I don't know, funniest, but my funnest so far has been our workshop and actually getting to meet the team in person, because prior to that we did Zoom calls, and I never met anybody in person. So this is my first time actually meeting everybody in person. And I think it's just this has been my funnest memory so far, is just actually being here in the Woodlands and enjoying the rest of the team together.
My funniest memory, wow, there's so many. I would have to say our office pranks, although at times they can go a little overboard and I didn't like to do them. Definitely office pranks.
We do a lot of team events outside of the office, and we were going up and down on the swan boats out on the waterway, and Robert and I were in a paddle boat. Every time we get going, the front of the boat would sink into the water. It was awful. So we just sat there and talked while everybody else went up and back.
Robert dressing up as Elf was probably one of my favorites. He scared me on my birthday in an elf costume.
Dan loves the movie Elf. And so I put on this elf costume, Annie's desk was right outside my door. And I knew if anybody saw me as I was walking to Dan's office, they would start laughing and just blow the whole thing. So I come out and I whispered to Annie and I was like, hey, shh. She turned around and she started laughing and I was like, you have to be quiet. So then she went ahead of me and told everybody in front of me to be quiet. And I go walking down to Dan's office and he's on his phone sending a text to somebody. And I jumped right in his line of sight, you know. And if you've ever seen Elf, right? Dad, Dad. And so I said, Dan. I jumped in his line of sight, Dan, Dan. And he literally like is shaking, throws back in his chair.
My favorite though definitely would be, I'm allergic to cats, and so while I was on vacation, the team decorated my entire office in cat paraphernalia. So we had a litter box, we had cat mouse pads, we had screensavers. The entire office was decorated, and honestly I felt like my eyes were watering as I went in there, and I found things in my drawers. It was pretty special, I have to say, but definitely enjoyed the pranks and makes it a fun place to work when we make fun of people when they're on vacation and come back to a nice surprise.